It was the French who were credited with inventing motor racing. Way back then, it was a much more simple Gallic affair. They'd race from town to town, reaching the giddy speed of 19 miles an hour, avoiding men with strings of onions round their neck on wobbly bicycles. These days, it's all so different. While the driver gets the glory and the champagne shower, it's the pit stop crew that do all the greasy, dirty work. They've got to refuel the car, put on brand spanking new tyres and get it back on the track in under 10 seconds. If they don't, it's bye-bye podium. So, how do they do it? This is A1 racing. Unlike Formula One, where every car is made by a different constructor and has a slightly different spec, in A1 the cars are identical and are run by 23 national teams. Powered by 3.4-litre V8 engines, they reach speeds of 180 miles an hour. And the difference between a glorious podium finish and a sheepish trundle back to the pits is measured in fractions of a second. That means to win, you need not just a great driver, but also a team able to change all the wheels on the car during a pit stop in less than 10 seconds. So to find out how they do it, I've come to the famous Brands Hatch circuit for the last race of the A1 season. Team Great Britain is currently in 4th place, and overseeing their effort is technical head and pit stop leader, Paul Bellringer. Nice to meet you, mate. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Very good.
This is our car. In a moment, they're preparing it ready for the race. James and Simon, they're two of the lead mechanics on the car. They're making sure everything's okay for the race. This is a young lad. We've got us just for this weekend, actually. He's here on work experience with us.
He's doing the polishing.
Yeah.
So I can see someone doing some polishing. Yeah. It's very important.
Yeah. This is Tina. Yeah, she's a data engineer. She backs up our main race engineer, feeding in the information he needs to know, sort of fuel consumption, things, the balance of the car, the aero balance, and things like that.
As well as their various jobs preparing the car, the entire team is also responsible for performing the high-speed tyre changes. A1 Racing demands 2 pit stops during the race, and unless the team can change all the wheels in under 10 seconds, they'll have no chance of winning. A well-drilled team make it look easy, but don't be fooled. There's plenty to go wrong. And before you know it, the whole thing can wind up looking more like the Keystone Cops. So to prepare themselves for the race every day, Team Great Britain down tools and practice the pit stop. The first job is to inflate the tyres, but they don't use common old air.
Tyre pressure is quite critical with these, and to try and control that, we run nitrogen in the tyres rather than just plain air. It doesn't suffer the heat changes as badly as what air does.
Right.
So you've got a better chance of controlling the tyre pressures.
Next, I give the guys a hand to wrap the tyres in some cosy electric blankets.
Yeah, it's perfect, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes.
That's better than me.
These heat the rubber to make it nice and sticky, and so help keep the car on the road. With the tyres neatly stacked, it's action stations. Perfect. All 4 tyres changed in just 9.8 seconds. Pull that off in the race and they'll have every chance of moving up the rankings. Unless, of course, there's a spanner in the works. Join me after the break when I'll be trying my hand at a high-speed pit stop change, hopefully without breaking any wheel nuts. My first thought was that the pit stop would be a good chance for the driver to grab a few moments to relax, maybe read a greasy magazine and take a short snooze. But not so, according to Great Britain's lead driver, Robbie Kerr. Now, Robbie, this is your car. I say your car, but I mean, now I've seen the pit stop team working on it. I mean, it's very much...
It's all of our car. When it comes down to it, in the pit stop, it all comes down to them as well.
Yeah.
They've got that added pressure. All I've got to do is drive in.
Yeah.
When I'm out there, that's a different story.
Yes.
But no.
I was sort of thinking, the pit stop must be a moment where you can relax. Absolutely not. It's where you must be really on the case.
Not at all, because the guys are on the wheels are trying to waggle around.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got to hold the steering wheel dead straight as well.
I
and
see.
of course, keep your foot on the brake. This is the biggest thing. If you let your foot off the brake at all, the wheels will spin whilst they're trying to gun them up, trying to do the wheel nuts up. And of course, we're going to lose crucial time. Foot in.
Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, there was no way they were going to let me actually try driving the car, but I did manage to squeeze in to try it for size.
Slide yourself
you get
down
your
as if
shoulders
you're lying in the
underneath?
back. Yeah, the shoulders
Nice.
right underneath, and then pop the wheel back on.
My goodness me.
Give you an idea what it all feels like.
Extraordinary. So there's no power-assisted steering. It is.
No,
it is heavy. And is it heavy when you're driving
It gets
fast?
heavier.
It gets heavier when you're driving fast?
Yeah, because of the amount of aerodynamic downforce you got on the car. And of course the tyres are going to be hotter as well.
Yeah.
So it gets heavier, but the heaviest moment, believe it or not, is when you've just come into the pits and parked it. And then the guys have got to try and wrestle with it because the tyres just stick to the ground.
Right.
But ultimately, there's only one way to see how tricky this whole pit stop malarkey is, and that's to grease up my spanner and take the sticky nut challenge. If I can prove myself by doing the whole thing in less than 10 seconds, who knows? Perhaps they'll let me even join the team for the race. So, to ease me in gently, I begin with trolley duty. Not serving tea, but jacking up the car for the wheel changes.
Put it all the way down, hard as you can. 10.8. Ah, yes!
It's a spectacular success. So now I feel ready to tackle a full wheel change.
We're going to break 10 seconds because I'm on the team now. Alternatively, they may be here for half an hour. They'll all be having sandwiches while I'm still trying to do it. But I'm ready.
Foot behind the line. Behind the line.
Blimey, sorry.
Good effort.
Is it on? Yeah. It's not falling off. How long was that?
Something over 15 seconds, so...
I've slowed it down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'd do it in a second in about a year. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting on the rear tyre, which is considerably heavier and bigger than the front one. You've got to hold it. See if I can do it. With 2 fingers and a thumb. Oh, that hurts! I don't want to do that for long.
Oh, bloody hell.
Hang on, don't go yet. Keep the race going. We'll be there in a month. Other way. Done!
Sorry, Robbie, the race is finished.
How long was that?
Or a stopwatch?
Yeah, it was 4 days. 25.7.
25.7, sorry guys. The back wheels are harder. He's a hero, this man. And that man.
Clearly, I've blown my chances of joining the team, so it seems I'm going to have to watch the race from the sidelines. The pit stop team are ready. Driver Robbie is ready, and once I have my ear defenders on, I'll be ready. Will Team Great Britain pull off a win to rocket up the rankings? We're about to find out. The team need to make 2 pit stops, and Robbie comes in early for the first one. It looks like all the practice has paid off. 4 wheels changed, the ashtray emptied, and a fresh coat of wax. 10 seconds later, and Robbie storms back onto the circuit, and would you believe it, he's taken the lead. That's right, Britain are actually winning something. Almost 2/3 of the way through the race, and all they need do now is pull off another slick stop, and the race is theirs for the taking. Unfortunately, it seems I should have kept my mouth shut. One sticky nut slows them down, and just as they pull away to rejoin the circuit, the Indian team steal the lead. Robbie does his best to overtake during the remaining laps, but when they hit the checkered flag, he has to settle for second best. In the end, the result was decided not on the track, but in the pits. Even so, it's enough to lift the team up to 3rd place in the final rankings. I can't help feeling they'd have done better with me on spanner duty, though. And just to let off a little steam, Robbie's gone loopy and is taking revenge on his tyres.